All right, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is, I'll name this segment later, GTG spits that grease, etc., etc., etc. Let's get right into it. Now, funny enough, I'm not sure if the end of uh of Smart Guys 2.0, if that video is already out yet or if not, or if it's lost in the shuffle. I've been really grinding these out. So if that comes out later on, it is what it is. You'll get it. But let's talk about today. Let's talk about right now. Let's talk about Smart Guys 3.0 and DSP's grand plan as the Snake Eater, the King Snake Eater, to sit there and have three new hosts that will be on over the next 3 weeks. Think of it as like a tryout, probation type period type situation. Now, the time I'm recording this, I actually do not know who the first guest is yet, but ironically enough, I'm pretty sure that you guys will lay it down to me, and then the next video or the video after this that comes out, I'll know it. So it is what it is. Just roll with me on this. So 3 recurring guests after Smart Guys 2.0, the PPP era, or Triple P as I like to call them, era, has come to an end. Now, there have been some names that have been thrown out on who will be the first guest, or at least some of the guests, and so on and so forth. Let me throw some names out at you. Ethan Oliver Ralph, who I should have a video talking about his initial audition pitch to DSP. If not, it's coming. But he put his name out there immediately. There's talks of Mersh. If you guys follow in that kind of zany type of sector adjacent type people, you know who Mersh is. He has a pretty interesting failure of a history that follows him. Cog, which everybody knows Cog, he's had beef with not only with PPP and Andy, but with Ethan Ralph. Matter of fact, a little bit of lore for you guys. That infamous footage of Ethan Ralph, he's in Portugal, he might be. He's wearing a blue shirt, light pants or shorts or whatever, and he's being beaten down in the street. That was Cog. Well, let me actually explain. That wasn't actually Cog. Cog set up that situation. His friend Dan was the one who actually dispensed the beating on Ralph. Cog just recorded that shit and basically set it all up. It was a good amount of content for him, and he made quite a bit of money that week. In any case, so Cog might be one of them. There are talks of so you got Cog, Mersh, Ethan Ralph. There is who else, man? There's actually a bunch of people realistically that could be thrown in there as well. Like Kino Casino has a shitload of enemies. Kino Casino has a shitload of enemies, bro. There's a whole rose gallery of people who will take that type of exposure, not only to get over on DSP or use DSP as a stepping stone, but whatever it takes that they can get in a foothold to get in with Kino Casino and try to get that beef going, so they can get that money going around, if you will. Almost like a pseudo internet blood sports type situation, if you think about it. Okay, so what do we think about this? 3 new hosts for 3 weeks, and DSP is going to decide what he's going to do. He may even just rotate between the 3 of them. He may even bring some more people in, get them in the rotation. It is what it is. One, it's really pettiness. Anybody and everybody who was willing to side with him against Kino Casino, it's not even really about wrestling. It's drama. It's drama being disguised or being covered up or being foiled with wrestling. That's all it is. If Ethan Ralph is one of the 3 and whatever, he definitely is an old head as it pertains to wrestling. He's going to bring a lot of knowledge. He's going to understand a lot of shit about it. If you followed Ethan Ralph for any period of time, he's spoken about wrestling multiple times. He's definitely he's way more well-versed than DSP is or ever could be. So there's that. And then the idea or the opportunity to take shots at Kino Casino while bashing DSP as well is all par for the course, whether Ethan Ralph is sober or not. Mersh, same concept. I don't know what the extent of his wrestling knowledge is, but he's probably competent in some way. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. He'll be able to extrapolate whatever he needs to kind of keep up the conversation with DSP and go at Kino. He's not going to be able to carry DSP through that, I don't think. We'll see. Cog, same concept. I'm sure he follows wrestling, or he did, or He can bring himself up to speed if he's one of the three. I don't think he's strong enough to carry DSP through through the wrestling portion of these shows, but he'll definitely have something to say with the drama aspect of it, par for the course. And then whoever else decides to follow, maybe Nick Rekieta gets in there. There's a bunch of people that can be chosen. Maybe dude from Steel Toe Morning Show. Is it Aaron? I think it's Aaron. Maybe he throws his name in the hat. Whoever it is that has a beef with Kino, that tossed them in. Fucking A, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Wings or even Boogie was thrown in there in some ways. Not because they got a beef with Kino, but you know, they can talk some shop with DSP and within an environment that doesn't have to do with Lol Cow Live or what their interest would be, or a conflict of interest, if you will, as it pertains to Lol Cow Live. Either which way, it's probably all gonna end up failing. At the end of the day, all these guys are just gonna use DSP to get over. That's all it's really meant to be, to start up the beef with Kino Casino. No one thought Kino Casino would last as long as it did. With that being said, all of their enemies that they take shots at or whatever, this gives them a chance to use their former springboard to get them into position, possibly. And I think that's all it is. And for DSP, it's just somebody else who's an ally. Whether a real ally, whether temporary, whether he's being used or not, it doesn't really matter to him, as long as he can stick it to his opponents, or to his enemies, or to his ops. That's all this is. It's nothing more than that. It's not any deeper than that. Truth be told, it's not about wrestling, and it hasn't been about wrestling for a long ass time. PvP is bug broken DSP. DSP, someone allegedly did a video, or at least brought up a bit of a document where they went over the week-to-week stuff as it pertains to what was going on in the ring and what DSP was saying. Not PvP, what DSP was saying. And he was wrong on most of it. Maybe not all of it, but certainly most of it. A broken clock is right at least twice a day. So this is just drama farming. It's content farming. That's all it is. And like I told you guys at the beginning of the year, 2025 is the year of the farm, if you will. It's the year. It's the harvest and whatnot. We need to go ahead and start, go ahead and sowing, our seeds and whatever, and then get ready to reap them just before the hardcore begging season leading into the holidays, to be honest. And it's been very bountiful so far, and it will continue to be as long as no nonsense happens. And for DSP, if he thinks this is his only option, or his only real, or some of his real choices, he said this is the first time in a long time he's actually had choices, and he's going to go with it. Even though he's contradicting himself, because PvP has already said that we've given him plenty of options, plenty of chances, and DSP didn't want to take them. It's weird that now that DSP is no longer affiliated with Kino Casino, now he wants to start acting upon some of the ideas that they already had, which that's just part of DSP's DNA, to be honest with you. He'll more than likely fail miserably though, and he won't make nearly the amount of money that he could make. And truth be told, if I had to guess, depending on who it is and depending on how profitable that show is, he'll probably test out all three, and then whoever made the most money will be the one that'll be the first victim of the Gouty vampire, or vice versa. They're victimizing each other, by the way. This is literally lol cow on lol cow crime. Don't get it twisted. Don't feel sorry for anybody. Whoever makes the most money out of the three, that's who's going to get milked and whatnot, or suckled upon, or whatever first. Then after that ends up fizzling out, then it'll be the next person, and after that it'll be the next person, and then by then DSP will hopefully, for his sake, will have three more victims and or perpetrators ready to, get their shot too. You know what I'm saying? It's an ugly type of situation, to be honest. It'll be funny. This is gonna be, all the content that Kino Casino could really ever want. The detractors, trolls, haters, and critics are gonna eat good off of this, and anybody else who's even semi-adjacent to any of this shit, or even just a normie, will get their shits and giggles off of this too. On top of that, for those of you who know your history as it pertains to the sector and some of these zany ass people around it, it brings their names back, and maybe it might even drum up some interest for them. So trust me, people are going to benefit either which way. DSP could have been on the quote-unquote right side of all this and profiting and benefiting from it the most, But yet again, Darksydephil always gets in DSP's way, and Phil Burnell suffers from the repercussions of not only his own shit, but also the other two idiots. It is what it is. So, you know, it just doesn't get any further than that. It's not that deep, to be honest with you. It could be funny. It could be hilarious, because any one of some of the people that I've named, maybe minus Nick Rekieta, could easily flip the fuck out and get DSP's YouTube channel demonetized. Let's not talk about, I won't say that. Let's not worry about whether the DSP gaming channel gets taken down. YouTube really isn't in the business of doing that so much anymore. It's demonetization is what they do first. It's a whole lot easier and it's a whole lot cleaner for YouTube, to be honest with you. Just demonetize the channel. It is what it is. Now, excuse me, DSP will probably just jump over to another channel and ride that out, which it is what it is. I mean, DSP Gaming is the major money maker, quote unquote, but he can go on any one of those of his other two channels and beg for money, which is how he makes money anyway, not ad revenue. So it doesn't really matter, but it will be a blow. It will definitely be a blow for him. So, and he thinks that he can just shut it off and that's it. Well, because people will still report it, because most people have the URL to all of DSP's original shit. Just because he privates it or unlists it doesn't mean it can't be reported. So, you know, it's just all par for the course. You know what I'm saying? And I've already looked at it. I've already told you kind of from DSP's point of view. Let's look at the potential prospects that are coming up there. Yet again, quick way to get some notoriety on you, if you will, or drum up interest in some of the shit you've used to do. And a quick shot or two at DSP for shits and giggles, and taking a shot at Kino Casino, basically, and whatnot, so they can start the beef up again, so they can get this pseudo internet blood sports thing to go to kind of, you know, build back up, which is kind of what DSP was trying to do with fucking Review Tech USA, where he was trying to get him on his side and they could go at the Kino Casino together. That's essentially what he's going to do with these other people, or anybody who's willing to side with him. You know what I mean? So even though he has options, he really don't have any good choices. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have any real good choices. So he's just going to take advantage of what he has because he don't have much. So you could say he's trying to make, you know, lemonade out of lemons, except for all the lemons are rotted. It's sewer water that he's using, and he don't have no sugar. So make of that what you will. He's using salt. And that's all it really kind of comes down to. Anyway, I'll have a video that will come out at least somewhat related to all this at a later time and date. But I just want to put this on wax for the moment, so you kind of get my thoughts out there, see what you guys think, and whatever. And we'll wait and see who's the, you know, the first announcement or the first co-host, if you will, for the first week. And that should be fun. In any case, let me know what you guys think, if you think anything. This is, I'll name this segment later, GTG Spits That Grease. Womp, womp, womp. And we'll wait and see how the trash fire continues to burn. Take care of yourselves, people. Later.